and to the absolute fucking shock of no one, Spider-Man is staying in the MCU. Can we all just agree that that a lot of us, I mean, even I for a quick second was like, oh, I guess this is permanent. But then I thought, oh yeah, it's Sony, they're gonna cave back to Disney anytime. Because you don't get to play chicken with Disney and win. So, yeah, there was like a brief moment where I was like, oh, I guess this is permanent. Oh, wait, it's Sony, and they're trying to play a hand against Disney. Okay, yeah. Now, I'm not trying to champion Disney or champion Sony, because they're both pretty shitty in this regard. They're both shitty, let's not, kid ourselves. They're both big companies who kind of want money first and foremost. So let's not, I'm not trying to champion either. I'm just saying, hey, we can finally have a Spider-Man the MCU story, and have this trilogy completed. Yay! Now, I kind of figured that this was going to wrap up at some point, because there had been a lot of rumblings that Sony had gone back and offered a better deal, as well as that whole thing with J. Jonah Jameson. If you guys haven't seen it, it's Jameson J.K. Simmons as Jonah, doing like a podcast thing of talking about how evil Spider-Man is. So I thought that was funny, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess the deal's sorted out then. So I was like, yeah, it's only a matter of time. And today, woke up this morning and talked about this. Now, if you do want to get more of our thoughts on it, go check out my other channel that I do with my friends Real Manos, Jay, and Brian on Comic Universe, and you can hear Jay's thoughts on the whole matter. And I think he brings up some good points here and there on his video. So I'll leave a link in the description below, and you guys can, if you're new here, go over there and subscribe to that channel, because that's the one that's monetized, and I could use some money! Anyway, so, anywho, let's talk about Spider-Man back in the MCU, like he never fucking left. Anyway, so, yeah. Now, the other thing is that there was a big deal that Sony made, is that they also wanted Venom to be in the MCU. They really wanted Venom to be part of the MCU, and offered a bigger deal, like a bigger cut of the profits. Like, I think it was 30 or 40% of the profits to Disney for the, to keep using the movie deal. Which also, by the way, no sooner did they say, hey, Spider-Man's staying in the MCU, did they announce the date for a movie. So you know that these guys probably had like a whole deal worked out to begin from the get-go. Because we get a movie date, and it's 2021. It's, it's actually not that far off. It's like literally 2 years from there. And yeah, I think, if I remember right, the deal also has Tom Holland as Spider-Man for at least 2 or 3 more movies. So that's the new deal. So obviously he's getting his Spider-Man movie in July of 2021. And then, I guess it's going to be another Avengers movie and something else. Yay! What also is interesting is that Sony also really wants Tom Holland in Venom 2. And if this goes well, then... now, obviously, you guys know that I did not care for the Venom movie. I did not care. I gave no shits for that movie. And I will admit that I'm mildly curious to see where they'll go with this new movie, because you got Andy Serkis directing, you're going to have Woody Harrelson as Carnage in here, and now they're saying that Tom Holland's Spider-Man could be in here, playing Spider-Man, thus making the Venom film canon in the MCU. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Disney's gonna go for that, and also if they do, then, I don't know if they're going, if Sony's gonna play ball and be like, oh, we're making another PG film, even though it's Carnage, and you kinda need to be R-rated with Carnage. There's no beating around the bush, guys. For Venom 2 kinda needs to be R-rated, so I don't know how you're gonna play around that. And you did so well with a PG-13 Venom movie the first time around, right, Sony? Can't wait for you to water down Morbius as well, and whatever cockamamie insane shit you're doing next. Oh, you're doing a Madam Web movie? Okay. Whatever, Sony, whatever. You clearly did not have any fucking clue what was going on. So, yeah, this was probably a smart move to come crawling back to Disney. And again, I'm not saying boo Sony. I'm saying boo Sony and boo Disney for getting into this corporate, this corporate tug of war to begin with. In fact, I'm surprised, by the way, side note, I'm surprised the internet didn't do, like, and maybe they did and maybe they did, and maybe I just haven't seen it, was of the meme, it was like, a meme of, if you guys remember that scene in the Black Suit saga, where Peter has this nightmare of the symbiote and his old costume tugging back and forth. He's like, "You're tearing me apart!" I'm surprised no one did that with, like, the symbiote having the Sony logo, and Marvel having the Disney logo, or just the Disney name on the classic Spider-Man costume. I'm surprised I didn't see that. Maybe it's out there and I just didn't see it, but if not, I'm ashamed you guys didn't make that meme to begin with. Shame on you, internet. Shame. Anyway, but let's throw hypothetically, if Disney's like, sure, we'll include Venom 2 into the MCU and kind of make it canon if you want to. Let's throw that in for a second and see how that would go. Let's say, hypothetically, this happens and Spider-Man shows up in Venom 2 to help fight Carnage. Like, you could even incorporate that Peter's on the run, he's now a fugitive, and he's, hiding out in the West Coast with his aunt, or maybe he's just gone dark and hiding on his own, runs into Eddie, who's hunting Cletus, and Peter's like, well, I just can't let this psychopath go after this other psychopath, so I gotta jump in as Spider-Man to help out, and it doesn't really matter because Venom is kind of a scary dude, and it's only gonna make me look worse for hanging out with this guy who eats people's brains. So Spider-Man's credibility is even sinking lower with now teaming up with Venom, but now you have this dichotomy between Spider-Man and Venom, and yeah, it'd make more sense, but now I gotta, you can only work with what you got. So what you could do is that while Spider-Man and Venom are hunting Carnage, you could have this dichotomy between the two, and Venom is like, you're a good kid, Eddie's like, you're a good kid, but you need to learn that this is how the real world works, you're a fugitive, as I recall, you're the bad guy, you killed somebody, and I believe that you did it for good reason. Like, no, I didn't Peter's like, no, I didn't kill anybody. Mysterio just tricked me. He's like, sure he did, kid. Sure he did, killer. So after the whole thing, and I guess either Eddie's gonna have to do something really horrible, and Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna have to stop you. The two fight, maybe Venom gets away, or Peter gets away, and what happens is that Eddie gets locked up, in the raft, and along comes someone from the government, or even Norman Osborn, and he creates he has Venom join the Thunderbolts, and that's how you get Venom in the MCU, is to have him part of the Thunderbolts, or maybe like this version of the Sinister Six, because now you can have Vulture. You've still got Vulture around. You've got Matt Gargan in the universe. You could have him as Scorpion. You also still have a Shocker around, there you go. And you could even say that, Mysterio survived, like it was another trick, like, he survived and, used a life model decoy or some shit and came back to be Mysterio again. So, yeah. You could have it like, oh, these are the Thunderbolts, and they're going to be tasked to hunt down Spider-Man, but really but Norman's like, nah, they're really called the Sinister Six. Or something like that. So again, no surprise there. This is absolutely no surprise. And I'm mildly curious to see if if Disney's gonna go, sure, Venom can now be in the MCU. Why not? Because Sony really wants Spider-Man to be in Venom 2. And I guess that will be, it could, and now canonically, it could make sense as to why Spider-Man is on the West Coast and how you could have him encounter Venom, because, he's a wanted fugitive. Where do you go? You run somewhere else, where, although it doesn't really make sense as to run all the way to the West Coast and still being, hunted by the U.S., but then again, I guess he's internationally wanted? I guess you could say? I don't know how that would work out, but I digress. So you now have a plausible way of getting Peter to meet Venom in Venom 2 if they still get to do that. But Yeah, would I want it? It's not really a thing I'd want, but I'm just going to relent and just be like, sure, whatever, Sony, you clearly, don't get to hold the cards, so I'm still not believing that this is a thing yet. I will believe that you did come crawling back to Disney, after everything that happened, and now we can actually finish this trilogy, which, yeah, I guess is going to be part of, I guess it's now going to be shoehorned into the next phase of the Marvel movies, because, yeah, they really came out right out the gate with that, release date. I think I just rhymed again. Wow, I'm really good I'm a poet and I didn't even know it, who knew? So, yeah. All in all, I think we all kind of expected this. It was more like, we're all surprised I think what it is that we're all surprised that it happened faster than we thought. It only took like a month, 2 months after all the back and forth, and then, yeah, here we are. Back, Spider-Man's still in the MCU. Yay! We can finally have this story wrapped up, and maybe he'll show up in an Avengers movie, and who knows? Maybe Venom can be in the MCU. Yay! I say enthusiastically. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Spider-Man in the MCU? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Would you guys be okay with Peter showing up in Venom 2, and how would you do it? And do you want to see Venom, likewise, in an MCU movie? Just comment below, let me know. And like I said before, if you want to, you guys can hit the link below and go subscribe to Comic Universe and go check out Jay's thoughts on the whole matter. And once again, I will see you guys later.